Belichick is 4-6.
Yes.
He's lost 6 times in the finals, and he should be 3-7 if not for Ray Allen making the greatest clutch shot I have ever seen to save his legacy in the 2013 NBA Finals.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Tom Brady is 7-3 in Super Bowls and should be 9-1, except that Bill Belichick obviously cost him 2 because in the first Giants Super Bowl, Tom Brady did what he always did. Game-winning drive, 2 minutes to go, up 14-10. And here came Eli against Belichick's defense and goes 75 yards for the game-winning touchdown and erased what should have been a Tom Brady Super Bowl victory. And then against Philadelphia, Tom Brady goes out and throws for an all-time playoff record, 505, and puts up 33 points. And Belichick's defense gives up 41 to the backup Philadelphia quarterback because Malcolm Butler is mysteriously doghoused. It felt sabotagey to me. But again, it cost Tom Brady being 9-1 in Super Bowls.
But see, you can't say it cost him because there are games that he could have easily lost. He could have easily lost that first Super Bowl. He could have easily lost to the Eagles. He could have easily lost to...
He had game-winning drives in his first 6
What about
wins.
Vinatieri? So what does Vinatieri play? Did he save his bacon?
Well, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He just retired yesterday. Okay, I got it. But everyone was a game-winning drive set up by Tom Brady completing 5 or 6 straight passes.
But here's the thing. Yes, Tom Brady put them in position, but Vinatieri has to be able to make the kick.
But they're makeable kicks. But he didn't make 65-yarders.
But 48 yards, Super Bowl. The bigger the game, the bigger the moment, the more pressure's on the kick. And we've seen guys miss. LeBron James can make a perfect pass. Remember, Russ said the hardest thing about the triple-double is the assist. Because I can make it easy for you, but I can't make the basket for you. And so LeBron James giving an easy pass to Kyle Korver, he missed a shot.
And yet, in LeBron's first year with the Lakers, didn't have this much talent, but he had some talent around him. And what happened? He went into, what's he call it, playoff mode, where he activated playoff mode.
He got hurt.
Yeah. Well,
that was the first time.
That's when he came back, and they didn't even make the playoffs.
But here's the thing, Skip. He got hurt, and that was the first time in his career that he had missed that much time. So you said, I'm going to activate, but he really didn't know how his body was going to respond because his body had never been in that situation before.
So now let's look at the 43-year-old quarterback in his first year away from Bill Belichick in Tampa. In the middle of a pandemic with no preseason and very little practice time, he takes a 7-9 team and a franchise known as the Succaneers, was the worst winning percentage in the history of sports as a franchise. And in his first year, against all odds, he flips the culture and it installs the Patriot way in Tampa Bay. And all of a sudden, they go win the Super Bowl. That's off the charts greatness. All of a sudden, he goes to 7-3 in Super Bowls, and he has established himself as simply the greatest clutch player in the history of sports, and to me, the greatest leader in the history of sports. It's period, end of story, because playing quarterback, as you will attest, is simply the hardest position to play in all of sports.
Let me ask you a question. Tampa defense plays like it plays in the Super Bowl. What top 5, top 6, top 7 quarterback couldn't have done what Tom Brady did?
Okay, but they didn't play that way until...
They played that way in the playoffs.
In the second playoff game. They didn't play that way against little Tyler Heineke, right?
They made the plays when they needed... Remember, they picked him up. They were driving, and he picked him up. They picked him off. So I'm just asking, okay, of the top players, top 7 players, name the guys that could have gone back to Cleveland and taken them to 4 straight. Steph, I give you Steph, KD, James Harden, whomever you want. Name the ones that could have did what LeBron James did.
In the Eastern Conference.
In the Eastern Conference.
Yep. Well, the point is, he was in the East, and you know it was a cakewalk every year. It was a done deal he was going to get to the finals.
So you're going to have that same energy for KD? Because he's in the East now. Unless we flip the map upside down, and now the East is the West, and the West is the East. So are you going to say there's a cakewalk? Oh, okay. So that's what you said. You said the East is a cakewalk. That's what you just told me.
Okay, look at who he got to beat up on. The baby dinosaurs in Toronto. Remember those teams?
The team that won the championship?
Remember Paul George's or George Paul's Indiana? That's who he got to beat.
Whoa.
Okay, all of a sudden, we have a serious contender with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, coached by Doc Rivers in Philadelphia. Milwaukee looks better than it's ever looked. It looks like Giannis is starting to figure it out and starting to grow up.
The year D-Rose won the championship. They had D-Rose, they had Noah, Defensive Player of the Year, Taj Gibson.
They were pretty good.
Yeah, and what happened?
Yeah.
Skip, okay, I want to know of the top players, name the ones that could have taken Drew Gooden, Larry Hu, Ilgauskas, Snow, and Pavlovic to an NBA Finals. Even in the East, name the player other than GOAT James.
Pretty good, and then he got swept.
Against a team that had Tim Duncan, the greatest power forward to ever live, Tony Parker, a Finals MVP.
You said he was the best player on the planet. Couldn't win a game.
No.
Couldn't even sniff a game.
Kind of like Jordan. When he got swept by Boston, he couldn't win a game.
Yeah, but he scored 63.
So now we hold on. LeBron James averaged 36, 13, and 9, and he lost to Golden State. And you talk about if you're the best player, you got to win that. Well, if Michael Jordan was the best player, he can't get swept. He got swept twice. He got swept twice. His first 3 playoff games, he won 1 game.
Well, he got swept after he came off a broken foot that kept him out the whole year.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? But you didn't say that about LeBron when he hurt his groin and missed the playoffs. But he made the playoffs with a losing record. And you commend that. You see what we got to be careful now. I remember when Devin Booker scored 70 in the loss. You're like, what are you holding up 70 for? You lost the game. We still heap praise. We say the 63-point game is the greatest game ever played. And Jordan lost.
Since LeBron James has been in the NBA, in the last 10 seconds of late and close games, no one has missed more free throws or more field goals than LeBron James. He is not clutch. Brady is the essence of clutch. LeBron has no clutch gene. It's been proven again and again and again.
In the final minutes of a ball game, in the last 25 seasons, only one player has more shots to tie or take the lead of a ball game. That's Kobe Bryant.
Yep, and he's played 320 more playoff games than Michael Jordan played.
Did you realize, Skip, that when LeBron James passed Michael Jordan for the all-time leader in playoff points, he did it on 120 fewer shots? Did you realize that? So how many shots? So over the course of, let's see, LeBron James averages 20 shots a game. So that's basically 6 games. He did it in 120 fewer shots. I think just now, LeBron has just passed Michael Jordan with shot attempts. And he's what? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 points ahead of him?
Who's the worst late game star free throw shooter you've ever seen?
Who
has the Achilles heel free throw shooting? Who's the worst? It's LeBron. He's disqualified from this conversation. He's out.
I'm not going to even debate that with you. We know what he is. He's not the greatest free throw shooter. But what Magic said, he's the greatest leader, influential person when it comes to winning in the NBA. Now, if you want to take it outside the NBA, you took it there. I'm right there with you. He's the most influential.
You took it there.
I did.
I mean,
because I wanted to go there.
I was stunned.
Don't be stunned. Don't be, well, hey, you want some, hey, bring me some water so I can get Skip out of this stunness.